What's good, people? It's the Rap Roundtable here. Your boy Jarvis, the City Rap Snob, Diddy the Balance, the homie Mace. We just need y'all to like, share, and subscribe when you tap into the videos. We're trying to reach 5,000 subs and eventually 10K subs. And with your help, we could definitely do that. Especially people who watch the videos and don't sub. You watching, we appreciate it. But the subs help us run it up even more. For our people who are already sub, make sure you hit that bell right next to the subscribe option. Pick all. When you pick all, it allows us to feed you what you need to get from us immediately. If you don't hit all, you'll get it when YouTube decides to give it to you. But if you hit all, you get the streams, you get the community posts, you get our regular uploads, you get everything. Hit all, help us run these numbers up, 5K, 10K, build a Rap Roundtable brand. Tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
It was a topic about artists selling their masters, right? And not so much selling the masters, but the reaction to it saying that this is bad for the culture. These guys are selling out or giving away their music to people who might not care about the culture. The culture's not being protected for the future endeavors of the culture. You know, I thought this was a flat topic because we have our audience here who are of the culture. A lot of them are day ones in this shit, and maybe they're concerned about where it's gonna go in the future. So Mace, talk to me, bro. Like, how do you feel about people being afraid about what selling masters can be for hip hop in maybe 20 years from now?
Well, I threw that in the chat because there was new news that who was the most recent
Future.
that Future had sold his masters.
Yeah.
I seen some videos about it. A couple people were talking about it. And so,
75 mil, I think.
75 mil.
For the 2004 to 2020 catalog, though. 16 years.
Right. And so it made me recall hearing about Wayne selling the Young Money Masters with Drake and Nicki and everybody. And then so I started doing some more research, and recent news showed Kanye, basically being upset that his publishing was being sold or his masters were being sold without his knowledge. So when I threw it in there, I was kind of puzzled because I'm like, what does this mean, guys? What are we missing here? You know what I mean? Like, why have they told us for all these years, keep your masters, keep your publishing, do all of this, and all of a sudden the biggest artists in music are all selling their masters? And is it bad for the culture? It's beyond the culture, I have to even say, because this is even, you look at Bob Dylan and you look at guys like, there's artists all over, some of the biggest artists in music selling their masters right now. So I have to say, not only do I think it's bad for the culture? Yeah, I think the more artists that don't have control of their music, the more artists that are giving these companies, like, do we want to hear a Future song in a Sprite video, like, 20 years from now?
Dirty Sprite.
I know Pusha is right. I know Pusha is making diss tracks for Arby's, but I don't want to hear grinding in the next Arby's, commercial. Personally,
Grinding the beef, pause.
Hey, yo.
I caught it.
Yeah.
You jumped in front of that.
Pause is
Immediate.
So ultimately, no, I don't think it's going to be good for the culture, and I think it's because artists are basically not making any money off streaming that this is happening.
Yeah.
Sha would know even more than us about this, being an artist himself. But I don't think that artists giving up control of their music. Look at Kanye being upset about, somebody else doing it for him. Now, he may just want the money for himself.
Of course.
But and this may just be, what people have been telling me all these years. But if y'all been telling me forever that this is bad, I'm going to always think it's bad and that y'all are just panicking. You know what I mean? So I think it's bad for the culture, personally.
Danny, talk to me.
Yo, we gotta get your publishing, Mo. You gotta get your masters, Mo. Like, we grew up on this. We seen the locks get jerked because they ain't have control over their shit. Like, so to see everybody just chucking deuce with their shit to me is fucking wild, bro.
Right.
Wow, like we just seen Future get what, 270, 250 for the verse for the next shit.
Yeah.
But you gonna sell the whole package for a couple for? I mean, granted, it's not just a couple.
It was
mil.
like 70 mil, bro.
It's 65 to 75.
Right.
But I'm like, you could. How long would it have take Future to make that money if he had the music on his own? Like, you have no control, bro. And my thing is, like you said, what are they gonna use this shit for, bro?
Right.
Like, this shit might be in the next, like, Jeffrey Dahmer movie. Who knows? Like, we don't know. You don't have no control. And you see how hard people like Prince, Mike Jack, niggas, like, basically work their life away to get them shits back. So to see everybody throwing them away, doing the complete opposite of what we heard for the last 20, 30 years.
Right.
We see how hard Hove worked to get his shit. Like Hove Dame shit stemmed from master shit, publishing shit. So it's like, I don't get it, bro. I get it. I get it, but I don't get it. It's like y'all worked all these years just to give it away.
Public Enemy sold their masters. I don't want to hear Rebel Without a Pause in a rom-com. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't have the control no more.
Exactly.
That
You
shit,
might.
It's bugged out, bro.
I mean, it's shaky. Sha, like, I won't ask you to speak about what Future did, but what do you think about the ramifications of
artist.
selling your as an artist of selling your masters?
Well, the ramifications of selling your masters.
If there's any, be clear.
All right, if there is any ramifications, it's like, all right, you sell me your masters, all right, I can flip it and sell it for more. That's what it is. Now, as from artist to artist, everything is subjective. So it's like people who do sell their masters, only thing I can assume is they probably need the money.
Right.
And they probably trying to go into a different business venture. And they're like, all right, yo, you need to play. You need like X million to play.
Right.
All right, cool. Sell the masters. All right. And if that can make me a multi-millionaire, if I can become 100 millionaire, 200 millionaire, why not? If I sold it for 60 million, all right, I flipped it and I became 500 million up. You gonna really be mad? I mean, it depends. Now, the other side of it is too, some people say, well, you know, you're gonna pass the masters off to your kids. Well, what's your kids? If your kids don't know the business, what do they really know about it?
For less than what it's worth.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
So it's all subjective in my opinion. It's all really based on it. Yeah, Prince did fight for his, but Prince was under the label though.
Right.
So Prince had to fight for his to get it back.
Heavy.
You know what I mean, now when he got it back, then he was chilling. But
Facts.
prior to that, you know.
And Prince came in with old school industry shenanigans.
Nigga.
You know what I mean? We don't know how much red tape he had to cut to get his
Exactly.
shit back.
So to see all
You
of
know
that
what I'm
and
saying?
then just chuck it is crazy to me.
It's a fact. Sin, talk to me.
To sort of like, I kind of like 50-50 agree with Mace and Dini. Unlike them, I get it because they're saying like they don't get it. I get it, but I don't like it.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
It doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel good to me, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm always gonna look at all of this through a cultural scope, right? Different people are gonna look at it through different lenses. And who am I? Like, I can't tell the next person what they can and can't do or what they shouldn't do with their art, their product, what they created, what came out of their heart and soul. You know, if you can put a price tag on it and feel comfortable within yourself that this is what my art, this is what my product is worth, and that's what the price tag I'm putting on it, and that's what I'm getting, so that I can then go and do this, that, and the third with it, then, you know, that's every artist's prerogative. But I'm always gonna look at it like, yo, it's bigger than the bag. You know what I mean? It's bigger than you know, your next business venture. This is culture.
Right.
And for me to, you know, to think of a situation where we put a price tag on culture, culture's priceless to me.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Shit,
So
man.
I don't know. It just doesn't sit quite right with me. You know what I mean? But I get it because like right now the culture is chase the bag,
Yeah.
get the bag.
Facts.
What's the next bag? How can you flip this to flip the next? Right? That's the culture. So I get it. I don't really like it.
I like it, but I don't like it. I feel like is what I'm hearing from you
Tough,
right now.
right.
A conflict. So for me, I'm gonna flat out say it right now, and y'all might be mad at me. I don't agree with Sincere. You know what I mean? I think this right here, you know, to quote, you know, Patrick Bateman from American Psycho many moons ago, mergers and acquisitions. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at this situation. I think Sha was going in that direction when he was talking about it as far as I sell it for this, I get this, and it leads to me being able to turn, like let's say Future, turn his 65, 75 million into a $500 million down the road. I think that's exactly what this is. I think artists who do buy or sell their masters, are doing it for something bigger down the road. Because it's like, Sha was halfway there. He said, Future or whoever can make 500 M's. If I flip my masters for that amount of bread and I could turn it into another business venture, I'm getting into real estate, whatever the fuck I'm getting into, I can always buy my shit back. if I make the right amount of money. And I think what a lot of artists, and this is not being reported, a lot of artists are leveraging them. They're not just selling it, they're leveraging their masters for a bigger play that we might not know about. For every Jay-Z who can afford to own his masters and not need to leverage his masters against something else to make bread, there might be a Future who's lit as hell, but he's not seeing the kind of bread a Kanye, a Rihanna, or a Jay-Z seeing. So he needs, in order to play with the big boys and make big bread, you have to buy in with big bread. And the only asset you have is your catalog.
Right.
So I think that's what a lot of these artists are doing. Maybe some of them do need the money and they're just cashing out. Fuck it, take my shit. I'll get the generational wealth. But I think certain artists are playing the long game. 15 years from now, Future could buy his shit back at maybe a lower price than he sold it for, or maybe for even more, who knows? But by that point, he's up 600 M's, 700 M's. That's a drop in the bucket for him, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that this is real estate. The catalog has become real. We flipping houses, but instead of houses, it's music. And I think that's what we're looking at here with selling the masters. Culturally, to Sid's point, it is shaky because we don't know. Maybe this person might not want to sell it back. But
Right.
who knows?
And in
down
the
the road.
meantime,
Or even in the sense of, let's say like you just end up on the cancel train.
Boom.
You know, like if you didn't
What
sell
is
it,
what's the worth of it?
shit. You get what I'm saying? Like a R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like what's that? Nobody's really playing his shit. Nobody's really spending his shit like that.
Yeah.
So what's the money coming in from that? So I would get selling it if you're in them type of like a the baby in the instance like that. That type of shit.
we'll
But
get into that.
yeah, like
It's like they pulling the curtain back on us though, cause all these years we
You don't
thought
feel
that
swindled?
the art was priceless, but like the $1 Million Man says, everybody has
Everybody
a price.
got a price.
Understand?
Got a price.
I feel a little swindled though.
Yeah, I should have had that drop for that to laugh. That'd have been clutch. But it's real shit. That's Americana, bro. Everybody has a price. Like, if you got the right numbers, who's gonna say no? It's like sports. Mace, we talk about it. If you're a free agent and the Bronx Deanies is giving me 150 M's, but the Harlem Sins is giving me 100, I'm going with 150.
Can't beat
Taking the money.
Facts.
But all right, let's move on. Let's get
Cash
back
out.
in with Shaleezy the God here joining us at the Rap Round Table. You know what I mean? I appreciate your persistence, bro, because it's like a lot of artists would have told us to fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you hollered at us, and I said, yo, I got you, bro. I like to be a man of my word, but it was like we took a little bit of time to get here, but I'm glad we here because so far, you've been a hell of an interview.
Thank
Great
you.
energy.
Facts.
Sometimes you get an interview and it's like, it's a slog, bro. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? But
Never
this has
that.
been
We'll
dope.
let you know off camera.
So, earlier, you mentioned your background. You mentioned the post 9/11 energy.
Yeah.
And what that was like for you coming up in New York City, which I can only, as a black person, I can only imagine what that energy was like for you after that. Because I saw the news reports, but living it is a totally different experience. But we're talking about hip hop. What has your experience been as a Middle Eastern artist in this underground space?
Well, it's been real interesting because it's like when I was first coming up, and I considered like under the artist development phase of my
Right.
career and stuff, everybody would like throw little stuff like, yo, you know what would be cool? What if you just put a turban on your head
Come on.
and put a Yankee hat on and like, you know what I mean? And it'll be crazy. People go crazy. You put a pink. I swear,
That's-
I
that's
had
that
people
eight-
tell me stuff like that coming up.
That
That's
80s
racist.
wrestling shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, dog, first of all, I don't even wear a turban.
The
We don't
Iron
even-
Sheik of hip-hop? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
you know what I mean? And it's like I don't wanna keep playing to these like stereotypes. Like I like playing with the ideas, but like to do this whole full on like being a garb and start like rapping my ass off for you, like I'm not really trying, because that's not really me. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like I'm born bred New Yorker, like
Right.
born here, like 163rd Presbyterian Hospital, Riverside, like I was there. You know what I mean? Staten Island, I was there. So it's like, nah, this is me. So I had to really break out and prove. So there was a level of that hurdle being Middle Eastern. It's like, I don't know how we gonna market him. Well, he's not gangster. He's not this. You know what I mean? He's not making it rain in the strip club. Like,
Not selling coke.
yeah, you know what I mean? So if those are the challenges, but then it's like once you hear the music and you see the consistency, it's like, okay, I see the direction he's going. I see the way he's branding it. Clothing line. Duffy,
Respect.
New York.
All right,
Holla at
all right.
me. You see the camel. You know what I'm saying?
Blowing that
Fly,
dope
ain't
too.
gonna lie.
We're gonna share it on the
That's
social.
dope.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
So it's like I represent my people in different ways and different avenues and stuff to kind of show like we don't gotta do all this other stuff to like be on or look good. You know what I'm saying?
I respect,
I respect that. And you don't need a gimmick. That's the way we operate here. We don't need
Yeah.
gimmicks. We don't need little bullshit. we feel like the conversations, the energy, the content will move for itself. And I
Right.
respect that you
Quality.
did that, bro.
Authenticity
saying?
is
Quality.
It'll
clutch.
take
And
you
also-
way farther. You feel me?
I want to speak a little bit about, if I can.
Yeah, do your thing, do your thing,
I
do
don't
your
want to
thing.
interrupt, but like something that you said, where like you play with the image a little bit, but it's yours to play with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like it can't, like, to get somebody else to come in and tell you what you should be doing because of your background and who you are. That's super trash.
Super
Yeah,
trash.
real
Super
shit,
trash.
son.
It is.
All right, so let me ask you this then. You know, born and bred New Yorker, you know, you can't help what your lineage is, but you're of New York, you're of the culture. What drew you to becoming a rapper? Everybody just can't rhyme. Like, what made
Right.
you want to do that?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, my first rap record I ever heard, I was 7 years old. I always tell the story. It was Rough Riders Anthem, DMX. Rest in peace, X. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that was the first record I ever heard. But the first song that really, really made me want to like rap and stuff was Tupac. I heard the song Changes. I was like in the
Shout out
fourth
to
grade at the
Mace.
time.
Pac.
You know what I'm
Salute
saying?
this man.
That Pac.
You
Give me
know,
a applaud. You want me to
Salute this
applaud? All
man.
right.
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying? No. We love Big though. We love Biggie. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
You know
of
what I'm saying? But that was the first record I heard, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like maybe 9, 10 years old at the time. I didn't really understand everything Pac was talking about, but I already knew that he was talking about like something real meaningful, and it was like, it's bad out there. And that made me want to like, yo, I want to rap like that. I want to rap about what's going on in the world. Like, you know what I mean? And that was kind of like my little building blocks and stuff. You know what I mean?
I respect that. All right. So, you know, I'm going to tell you like a little backstory. A lot of us here are of some kind of like ethnic or Caribbean descent, right? So like coming up, if you tell your parents, yo, I want to get into athletics, I want to get into music, or I want to get into some kind of random occupation that's not the same lawyer, doctor, office gig, bus driver, whatever the fuck, right? Your parents say, nah, don't do that. Do this. For you, like when you told your parents, I want to be a rapper, what was that experience like? What did they tell you? Like, no? Did they push back? Like, talk to us about that experience.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, every brown parent does this, right?
Okay.
They'll say, oh, cool, you wanna rap? Yeah, you can rap. Just go be a doctor. You can rap on the side. You can do the rap thing on the side. Do the rap thing on the side and go do the doctor. I respect it, but it's kind of like as you get older, like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really into that. I wasn't really into school like that. I was kind of more like an arts kid. I was a more creative kid and all that. And after a while, like I went to college and it was just like, yo, all right, I guess he ain't really into any of that stuff. And then I just kept showing them results. I kept showing them like, yo, look, people love me. I go do shows. People react to when I do my shows. I show them my numbers. I like, yo, but people like this. So they was just like, all right, you know what? As long as you can support yourself, you stand on your own too, go ahead. You know what I mean? We fought you for all these years. Go ahead, do what you got to do. And now they proud of me because now they just see like, every step is just, every year is just getting bigger and
They see
bigger.
the evolution.
You know what I'm saying?
So you had to sell them on it.
Yeah.
They don't understand the actual like money making ability that this shit has, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they just think of it like you just gonna be some dude just rapping for the sake of rapping. They don't understand like this shit could change your whole world.
Facts.
This shit could change their world. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like hip hop is
Change
an engine now, bro.
right.
Like
It's generational wealth if you do this shit right.
Real talk.
What?
Right.
I like that. All right. So again, shout out to the Math Alpha podcast because they always give us content. I love that show.
Math.
You know what I mean? Like, I like,
Shouts to Math, man.
shout out to the whole team, man.
You know
Good
what I mean?
energy all around.
I liken us to be like, that's the trajectory we're gonna eventually reach to. Like that energy, that vibe. I fuck
it.
with that show 100%.